In 1895, Italy attempted to colonize Ethiopia at the behest of England in the First Italo-Ethiopian War. Under the leadership of Emperor Menelik II, Italy was decisively defeated. Italy was not happy. October 3rd, 1935, Italy invaded Ethiopia to start the Second Italo-Ethiopian War. May 12, 1936, Emperor Haile Sellassie condemns Italy in a speech at the League of Nations. When the horrors of war enter a fairy tale, we have the story of the monks.
We do not realize how really wars destroy people. My mom was a countess in an area that was Hungary before for 1,000 years, and basically it was taken away from Hungary and it became Romania. So my mom was 14 years old when she has to escape. One day she met my dad. My dad was a diplomat. He was a liaison officer between Hungary and Austria. And he was in First World War and he suffered a great deal. He was injured. Also he got malaria at the First World War. And after a while they married around 1927-28. He said, I feel that really there is a war coming, a Second World War. I think we should leave Europe immediately. And they were hunters and readers, avid readers, and they read a lot of stuff about Africa and Ethiopia. And my dad and mom were very intrigued because there was an area in Ethiopia called Kaffa. And they went to Ethiopia, of course sold their little land near Budapest and had coffee plantation. And my dad, after the war, when he was injured, he also got very fed up with being politics and being a liaison officer. He went back to college. And since he had a little land there, he thought he would be a gentleman farmer. He became an engineer agronom and a veterinarian to take care of his horses and animals. That was very, very helpful for him in Ethiopia. And Haile Selassie found out how very successful he was in his plantation in Ethiopia. And after a while, he asked him to take care of his animals because some of the people there would pay taxes with animals, cows, sheep, horses, it depends how wealthy they were. So sometimes he had hundreds of animals in certain areas in Ethiopia. And my dad used to be sent there to give them vaccinations so they see whether they were in good shape. And after a while, he became very good friends, mom and dad, with Haile Sellassie. Almost every Friday, by then I was born, I was 2 years old, and we had dinner almost every Friday with him. And after dinner, he used to ask my mom to put me on his knees and clapped his hand for months. Very private chocolate that I really enjoyed. So I remember part of it, really, even at that time. Well, in the meantime, Ethiopian and Italian war broke out. And we felt a lot of tension.
The regular aeronautica ruled the skies unchallenged. Reconnaissance aircraft patrolled all day, mapping the land and looking for the white cotton shama which betrayed the enemy. Bombers terrorized towns,
Special
villages,
sprayers
and
were
marching
installed on board aircraft so they could vaporize over vast areas of territory, a fine, death-dealing rain. Groups of 9, 15, 18 aircraft followed one another so that the fog issuing from them formed a continuous sheet. It was thus that soldiers, women, children, cattle, rivers, lakes, and pastures were drenched continuously with this deadly rain. In order to kill off systematically all living creatures, in order to more surely to poison waters and pastures, the Italian command made its aircraft pass over and over again.
The emperor one day called my dad. He said, "Dr. Bert, please come to my office. It's important that we talk about this." And he sat down with Dad. He said, "Dr. Bert, I want you to go and be chief doctor to my troops on the front line." And my dad said, "I'm a veterinarian, not an MD. I just could not do that. And besides, he said, it doesn't matter. You have to help me out with this. It's very important." My dad said, "My wife is 8 months pregnant. I can't leave her. And besides, if somebody would die under my knife, I wouldn't be able to live with myself." And they started arguing for almost half an hour. And finally, he got very cold, smiled, and he said, "Okay, Bert, okay." And within 3 days, one of his ministers, called Negadras, who used to come and hunt in our land almost every month, he called my dad his office. And he opened up a drawer, pointed to the drawer, and he said, "You didn't see me here, I didn't see you here," and he pointed to the drawer. So he left the office. My dad went, looked at the paper. Haile Sellassie had a decree to catch us and hang the 3 of us.
With the help of local villagers who loved them, the Holusa family traveled 4 days by night, barely evading the soldiers sent to kill them by Emperor Sellassie in 1936. They were rescued by the Italians who won the war and occupied Ethiopia. Americo Mock followed Eva Holusa to Brazil, where they eventually married and bore their son, Americo B. Mock. Americo, Eva, and A.B. Mock became 3 of the world's most famous and talented Impressionist artists. After they escaped the communism in Brazil, they moved to New York and then Hawaii. They had studios in Hawaii and Los Angeles and had fine art shows all over the world. They painted 14 giant murals in Catholic cathedrals across Brazil, which set the stage for their fantastic painting careers. Americo and Eva Mock had a magical love, a fairy tale life that could not be shattered by war or a desperate dictator.